Okay. So please let me know when my screen is visible.
Yeah, we can see a screen.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, my name is, I guess I'll just use this because I don't have slides. But yeah, my name is Mary Ann Gitonga. I am a computer science student at Strathmore University, currently on my last year. I am also a beta Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador and part of the Power Platform User Group Kenya. So today we're going to do a little bit, okay, I wouldn't say it's a deep dive because we're not doing everything, but I'd say we're doing majority of things entailing Power Virtual Agents. That is like interacting with the platform, building chatbots, testing them, and possibly publishing them. So I will just go to my Power Virtual Agents interface website, and we'll just start from there. So if anyone has any questions, I guess you can just put them on the chat, or if it's like really urgent that it has to be like answered at that particular point in the discussion, you can just unmute and speak up. Yeah. So Power Virtual Agents is a platform that enables us to design and build intelligent chatbots with no coding involved. So the creation of the bots is just done on this platform um, with all the tools, all the options provided here. So to sign up, if you have a Microsoft related account, you can just sign up on the powervirtualagents.microsoft.com website. Signing up is very easy. I think they just ask for your country. Yes, your country and the language you'd prefer, and that's it. But if you don't have a Microsoft related account, you can use the developer, you can create a developer account where you can just be able to access, or rather just test out M365 tools. Um, I'll share the link on the chat. Let me get it. So in case anyone wants to follow along, I guess, practically, you can just use that account. If you don't have any Microsoft related account, you can create an account there. It's also fairly simple to create one. Yeah, so I had created a bot, but let's just talk about the interface. So this is like the I'd call the home page, where you have like the menu bar, the main menu bar. You have an interface where you can see, like you have like a quick start for topics that you can use to create your chatbot. If you already had a chatbot created, you can easily edit and test it from here as well. And you can also publish the bot. And then under topics, we have this, let me just call them topics. So the topics are just I'd say like contextual group, a contextual group of of, well, let me call it a group of context. Yeah, a group of context that helps your bot to relate to a particular context. I think I'm using the context word too much, but I think it makes sense. It's like creating this environment for your bot. So if you want to create a, let's say, a topic for a bot that is going to be used in, let's say, a hospital, your topic would have phrases, answers, questions relating to that context, relating to that environment. Um, if you're having a chatbot that is helping out maybe the IT support team in an organization, all the phrases, all the questions, all the flows will be related to that particular context. So you can use different topics. You can select whatever topic you want to relate to your chatbot here. You can have many topics on the same bot. That means, like, for instance, the easier system generated topics, such as greetings, and thank you, confirmed success, confirmed failure. These are like more of the basic type of topics. So those are like topics you can integrate together with maybe like your contextual kind of topics. And then we have entities. So I'd say for entities, they're like key data points that can be extracted from the user inputs, the input that the user puts in that chatting interface. Maybe like you want to pick only the email address from the user input. That means your key data point is the email address, and that is what you're interested in, and that is what you want to maybe to save on your database. So the chatbot in itself, or rather Power Virtual Agents, provides this natural language processing capability such that your bot can be able to distinguish what type of data it wants to collect and save, maybe for future use or for manipulation, and not just pick everything. But at the same time, you have an entity that can allow you to pick the entire user response. So again, it depends with what you're aiming at collecting. So for instance, I think I mentioned email. So as you can see, for the email entity, we have the description bit, which talks about what is being collected under the email entity, which is obviously an email address extracted as a string. Uh, Here it shows like the method is pre-built. Again, you can create your own entities. Maybe like if you find an entity that you wanted isn't available in the pre-built entities, you can create yours. And then down here, it shows examples of entities, like how like a use case, I'd call it. So for instance, if your user input is my email is user@site.net, that means whatever is being collected, whatever, like the key data point in this user input is the email address, which is user@site.net, and that is what is going to be saved on your database. And other more examples, instances of user input. And then from there, we have analytics. So this is where like reports concerning your bot, your chatbot, are displayed or presented. So we have the summary. Okay, let it just load. So we have like the summary bit, we have topic triggering, we have customer satisfaction. Again, because like on the chatbots, you can add a survey bit where users interacting with your chatbot can give their ratings on how like your chatbot is performing, maybe with the interactions. And then, oh yeah, it's loaded. So I think someone is unmuted. Okay. So yeah, Under the summary, you can filter out using different days, different weeks, or rather like the duration that you want displayed on your the analytics dashboard. So here you can see the total number of sessions, the engagement rate, resolution rate, escalation rate, abandon rate. So it just gives you like an overview, and also maybe like in specific, if you click on any, how your chatbot is performing, or how your chatbot is engaging with the users, or how it's interacting with the users. And this information you can use to maybe like better your bot, or tweak something maybe to like make it better. At the end of the day, just you're just trying to use the analytics to make your your tool or your bot better. Then under the publish section, this is where you publish your bot. You can do it from the homepage, or you can just click on this directly. And then we have the manage section. And here you have the details of the bot. So for instance, the bot that I have open at the moment is called the test bot. Um, it shows the icon and the bot's metadata. Um, then there is channels. So channels are available to configure your bot with other outside platforms. So for instance, you can configure your bot using Microsoft Teams. You can configure with your custom website if you have an application. So that means, let's say for instance, let's say I work at Microsoft and they have curated this customized bot to handle like specific issues, maybe that cannot be handled by the default Microsoft Teams. So they will just configure that bot. Once they have like created it and published it, they can just configure that bot directly to the Microsoft Teams. So anyone, maybe like everyone with a jurisdiction of accessing the bot, is able to interact with it, and interact with it like in an automatic way. Uh, and then there is under agent transfers. So these allow handing off a chat session to other bots or live agents. So for instance, if you want two bots to interact, two or more bots to interact, let's say something like is beyond the particular bot that you're interacting with at that point in time, you can just like the bot can hand over your task maybe, or your session, to another bot under the hood. Um, yeah, so it's a matter of kind of like inter interoperability between the bots and even between the live agents. Maybe it's something that a bot cannot handle, and needs like the intervention of a live agent. Then it just hands over the session to a live agent. Then under security, this is where like you add measures to control interactions between your bots and your users. So either it's sharing information between bots, or between a bot and a user, or authenticating maybe the use of a certain bot's topics with another bot, or when you're configuring your bot with other applications, the measures that are in between that communication between the bot and that particular website or web page. And then again, the allow list. Um, there are some, like there are bots that are allowed to interact with your particular bot maybe, and there are some which are not allowed. So allow list is like maybe just a list of bots that are allowed to interact with your bot and maybe its information. And then we have skills. So under skills, skills allow bots to use other bots to navigate topics, or allow other bots to call on your bot. Again, this kind of inter interrelates with agent transfers to some level, because for agent transfers, there's both interacting with bots and interacting with handing sessions over to a bot or handing a session over to a live agent. But for skills, it's just like allowing other bots to use maybe information, maybe topics that belong to your bot, or using maybe like the information your bot has to get an answer for that particular maybe user the other bot is interacting with. And then there is the AI capabilities that enable intelligent features. So I think uh, I think I'll show you an example somewhere. The fact that like this chatbots that you create are not rigid. They have like the intrinsic AI capability such that even if you define phrases, even if you define the phrase, let's say, I want a laptop, and someone just writes want a laptop or need a laptop, it will still make sense out of that information because through the trigger phrases that it has been given, it keeps on learning through those phrases, and the more the user interacts with it. So yeah, the bots have AI capabilities. So from here on, we'll look at a bot I created. I'd say the use case behind this bot was a scenario where you have people in an organization that need to generate tickets for their issues, for their IT related issues, such as hardware issues, configuration issues, need of access to maybe like IT resources and whatnot. So instead of like having each user send emails manually to the IT support team every time. They can just interact with the bot. Maybe if it's configured in their usual platform, they can just interact with the bot there and state their issues, and the ticket is automatically generated and sent via email to the IT support team. So the what is it called? The bot. This is how it looks. So let me say, we just do hi. So once I write hi or anything to do with a greeting, it triggers the bot to. It prompts the bot to answer with this message. So what can I help you with today? So there is, I had already written test phrases, which I'll show you in a few, which trigger the bot to answer. So whatever, like in that range of test phrases that I have, anything within that range or anything that falls along that I'd call sense, it triggers the bot to answer in the way that you have maybe like specified on your flow, on your topic. Yes. So let's say need access. So it will ask me for my email address. Let me see. Okay, Marianne. Then it prompts me to. So from here you can see what we were talking about, entities. So okay, let's say let me just see if I can prompt it again to bring the point of entities home. I need okay, so let's say I write my email address is rian.com gmail.com. Let me add. So as you can see, it just picks the email address from all that user input that I have sent. So this is the power of having entities, and entities that it's like having a data type in a way, but again still specifying what particular information you'd want picked from that user input. And then here, as you can see, we have options for different types of categories, like issue categories. So you can either have VM issues, software issues, generate, if you're not under any of these categories, you can decide to generate a ticket. And if neither of this feature issue, you can just choose other. So I guess I'll just go with VM, and then prompts me again. So based on what option I select, the answers keep on changing. So it's like having an if else statement in maybe data structures. So every time, depending on the option that you pick, the answers are drafted differently. So please enter a virtual machine IP address for which you're facing an issue. So let's say my IP address is 16. Then, so from here on, at the back of it, I think I actually just clicked it. But at the back of it, there is a flow created that connects with the Power Automate platform. And through the Power Automate platform, the email is generated and sent automatically to the IT support team. And then once that process is successful, the flow returns a success message, which is sent to the topic and then displayed here. So my success message is this bit: your ticket has been generated and sent to the IT support team. And then here it's where it ends the conversation using a survey. So you can either end a conversation without the survey, or you can end a conversation with the survey. So also this input is what is being shown in the analytics section, where you can see customer satisfaction and whatnot. Okay, I guess we'll just finish it at that point, and then go through the process I went through to create this bot. You can follow along if you want. Otherwise, you can just listen in. I guess the recording should be shared. Yeah. So to begin, you create a bot. Sorry. You create a bot from this part. You click on new bot. Okay. I think you get the gist. You click on the new bot, fill in the name of the bot, and then it will create the bot for you. I think the process is actually that simple. You just add the name, and maybe sometimes they'll ask you for the language that will be used in the bot, but otherwise it's just adding the name of the bot, and that's it. So once you have your bot generated or created, you come to topics. Under topics, you always have the system generated topics, and then these out of the box topics, which is lesson 1 to 4. So let's say to begin, you can actually, or just to test it out, you can actually start with, let's say, the greeting one. And from the greeting, this is where I actually edited my message to add my, like the customized version, adding my name and whatnot. So these are the trigger phrases. The trigger phrases are the ones that prompt, depending, like if you input any of this, um, your bot will answer in the, like, depending on what you've put next as the message or as the question, depending on what action you've put next. If any of these statements are used by the user on the chat interface, they will prompt the bot to respond in a particular way that you have specified. So on the message bits, you can always edit. Also on the test phrases, you can always add. So here you can add you can add a phrase. Oh, it's not working. Okay, I think this is because it's the system generated topic. But if you have your own topic, you can add your own trigger phrases, as I'll show you with the topic that I used on the bot after the greeting. But for the greeting part, this is the topic that I used. You have your trigger phrases. Any of these trigger phrases, if they're typed by the user, they will prompt this particular message down here, as you saw. And then so this message and then this message follows. So let me just take you to let me actually talk about suggest topics. So for a suggest topic, this is a topic you can generate or you can form from a web page or a website. So all you have to do is add a link over here, and the platform will actually suggest topics related to the platform that you put. So you can put whatever platform you want. Maybe if it's something to do with your business, and you already have an existing website and you want to create a chatbot for that particular website, for your bot, or rather for the platform to get a gist of what your content or your context is all about, you can just add your link over here, and then it will suggest topics around the content that you have on your website. um, so right now I had added, let me just try and add GitHub. I had added LinkedIn, but let me see. Add start. Okay, so it's now like getting your suggestions based on the website that you've put. Yeah, so you can either suggest topics as it loads. You can either suggest a topic or you can create your own. So if you do not have maybe like a website or a platform that you can rely on to like curate topics based on your content, you can just create a new topic and create the entire flow. Let me call it flow. So as it loads, I guess we can look at the customized topic that I created for this particular bot in relation to the IT support, the virtual IT bot chatbot, I'd call it. Um, okay, so we'll go back to the suggested topics. Let them first be generated. So here is where I start. So when I created this particular topic, it was actually empty. It just had this part where you're generating your trigger phrases. And for this particular topic, you can actually add phrases because it's not a system generated type of topic. So let's say here I can add, I really need some help. So you can actually see it has been added to the trigger phrases. And if I saved and went back to testing the bot, um, I really need, sorry, I think it wasn't done saving. I really need some help. So as you can see, even on this side, it shows you like this trigger was successful and it prompted this question. So that is how you add triggers. And then once you add a trigger, you can, let me just go down to here. I think I'll just have to create another, either that or I remove one of this to show you the options that we have. So like on the adding of nodes, you have a couple of options. You have the ask a question node. So with that node, it's just your bot asking the user a question. As in the case of what we had here, like this question. So on the first input label, you add your question, and then on the identify bit, you're just specifying the entity. So if I'm asking for an email address, what type of entity would I want to capture my data? It's obvious, an email entity. Depending on the questions that you're asking, you might even end up creating your own entities. So in this case, I chose an email. Uh, sorry, just let go of that. I chose an email. Um, so you can either choose, you have many options actually. You can choose multiple choice options. You can choose user's entire response. That means you're taking everything, you're not leaving out anything on the user input. You can take the age, the Boolean, a Boolean, a city, a color, continent, and so on. There's so many options. And again, you can customize your own to fit whatever data you want to be collected. And then here down, you have a variable. So this is the variable taking in your data and saving it somewhere. So you can always edit the name of your variable. So in my case, they usually come as variable var by default, excuse me, but you can always customize them, maybe like to fit the context so that you're able to track them down as you manipulate them later. And then going back down here, we have, you can add a condition. So adding a condition is just adding, it's like adding an if else statement or if else statement, as I said before. So it's just having many, like having a, how would I call it, a division of the flow. So if maybe like an output is this particular thing, go to that particular side of the node, else go to this other side of the node. I think this can actually show. So if you remember the part we had options for the user to choose whether their issues are in the VM category, the software category, or generate a ticket or other. So depending on the option they choose, there are different conditions for each option, for each choice that's picked. So if the option picked is VM, goes down on this route. If the option picked is software, goes down on this route. If the option picked is generate a ticket, goes down on this route, and so on. So that is what a condition does. And then calling an action. So calling an action, you have a couple of options. Under calling an action, you have creating a flow. So this launches the Power Automate in a new window. So Power Automate, an instance, a practical instance is what I had explained before on when testing the chatbot. Having your emails automated, like curated, written and sent to the IT support team instead of someone manually doing that. So that part is like you have to create the flow, connect it to create a flow on the Power Platform side, and then come connect it on this side on the topic. And then you have searching Dynamics 365 knowledge articles. So these are examples of flows that I generated before. And the particular flow that's being used in this scenario is the IT virtual agent chatbot flow. So we'll look at the details a bit in a bit. And then we have show a message. Show a message is just a normal message. Like if a user says something, maybe the bot is prompted to say something. It's not asking for any input, it's just relaying information. So in the case of this part, before the question is asked, there's this message. And then down there, before the conversation is ended, it relays the success message, depending on if the email was sent successfully. And then we have, um, you can redirect your bot from this particular topic to another topic. I think, again, I mentioned at the beginning that you can have a chatbot interacting with very many topics. And the way you can help it achieve that is, like using the redirect option to redirect it to the other topics mentioned here. You can create your own again and redirect your bot from one custom topic to another. And then there's the option of ending a conversation. You either end it with a survey or you transfer to an agent. So you can end it with a survey as you saw on the test that we did at the beginning, or you can end it and then transfer it to a live agent to go on with the conversation. Um, okay, so let me return what was there. It was end the conversation with a survey. Okay. And then from there, so I think we've discussed all the node types that can be created. So let me go to this type of question and explain how it is done. So here is where we were selecting a category for the issues. And the identity we picked to get that particular feature was the multiple choice options. Once you choose that, you can add as many options as you'd like. Yeah, so I think also that's a bit straightforward. Now moving on to like how you again you remember if you want to, you can edit your variable name to suit maybe like your context, depending on the data that the variable is carrying. And then from there, this particular variable is what is being used in the conditions. Just the same way you'd have X maybe carrying the condition, and then you're using if X is 1, if X is 2, if X is this, if X is that. So V choice of category is the variable carrying the options, and then depending on what the option is, the nodes following after um, again are specific to the condition. So In conditions, you can have the equal to, you can have has value and has no value, again, depending on your context. Um, so after here, I think I'll just now show how to how to um, how to create the flow. So for the flow, let me again just remove one to show the redirection. So let's say from here, I click call an action and click on create a flow. So it redirects me to the Power Automate platform. And from here, it opens a new flow that I have to add things on. So from here, I'll just go back to my generated flow already, just to save on time. Um, just return the end conversation with survey. Okay. So um, so here I have the flow that I created. It's already sort of packed. Let me see. Let me edit it so that I can show you how I filled in the flow to actually make it work. Um, so here we have, on the other side, you saw there was an input there was an input box and there was an output box, but they didn't have anything. The other bits have been added. So under the, again, with the flows, I feel like with the chatbots and the flows, they all depend with your context and what you're trying to achieve. So in this case, since the flow, the main purpose of the flow, of having the flow, is getting the, let's say, the category of the issue, getting the description given by the user of the issue, and then sending it out to the IT support team. So with that in mind, you come and also generate variables that you would need on this particular end. So you have the V category, which is the category of the issue. So depending on what the category is, the email curated or the email generated is subject to the category. So if the issue was under the VM category, that means maybe the subject would be like VM issue reported, or if it's a category for software issue reported. So that, in as much as in this case the changes might seem minimal, I think in some cases the changes might actually be very significant. So for those, even for the small changes, that category is actually essential in, like, again, it's like you again using a condition node, but in this case we're going to use a switch, as you'll see in a few. Then you have the V description. So this is where the description from the bot side, from the Power Virtual Agent side, will be saved. So for the inputs here, it means you're getting the data from the bot side to the flow side. And then for the return values, you're getting the data from the flow side to the back to the bot side. So you have category, description, and email. All this you're picking from the bot side. As you've seen, we've already collected this data and stored it in some variables. And then here you initialize a variable. So on this side, since we need like to give a success message back to the bot that the email has been successfully sent to the IT support team. we need to initialize a variable to hold that success message. So in this case, we've called it v output string. It is of type string, and this is the value that needs to go back to the bot once the email has been sent successfully. So it's just like having to trigger a flow, and then once the flow has executed successfully, you send back a success message, just the same way you do in maybe like HTTP requests and responses. And then here we have the switch. So switch again, honestly, I will just relate this particular nodes to data structures, just the same way you have like a switch case in data structures, where you have, depending on the value, the maybe like the condition, the let me call it the condition variable holds, you'd tend towards maybe like specific lines of code to be computed. So in this case, you have a switch, and the conditional variable, quote unquote, being used is a V category. As we said, depending on the category a user has chosen, the emails will look a bit different. So under the switch, we have the VM case, the software case, the ticket case, and the other case, just like the way they are on the options on the chatbot side. And then under the VM case, we have created an email, sending an email notification action. So this is just, you can create an action under this node using this. So there are very many actions, honestly, and triggers. I don't think so. So you can imagine, yeah. So there are very many actually. Um, so depending on what you're aiming for, you just have to search here for ease. And so for me, it was mail, which was already here. I think these are the most frequently used, which I already put here. So I just clicked on mail, and from there, I specified my email address. I specified the subject. So as you can see on the subject, here I have specified that it's a VM related issue. On the software case, I have specified software related issue and so on. And then here, as you can see, the other two inputs that we picked from the bot side, we're actually using them here. And we are telling the IT admin that a user whose email is in the brackets needs help on actually root actually root software issue, but it's a VM related issue. And then here is a description of the ticket. Again, based on the description that was saved from the chatbot side, it is brought in here and sent to this particular email that is specified up there. So this is just repeated throughout the other cases with just a tweak on this part, VM related issue, and this other part on the body of the email. So once that is done, at the end of it all, under all these cases, you return values to the Power Virtual Agents platform. So this is where you're returning your success message, which you stored in the V output string. And then once you're done with that, you just you save your work, and then you add this to your solutions. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's done. So you come here and add that particular flow that you have created, and maybe many others that are related to that particular bot under your solutions. So so under your solutions, you can see you have all this actually. Oh wait, you actually create a new solution. I think I skipped that bit. This is not supposed to be here. If it was a new flow, then this would not have been there. So you just create a new solution, give it a name, give it a display name, a name, select a publisher. Usually, this is used, CDS default publisher, and you make sure the version is at 1. And then once you do that, you come open it here. And then once you open it, okay, once you open it, you can add, since you have already created your flow, you just come under add existing, you pick automation, cloud flow. So whatever existing cloud flows you have created that are not already, for me, like here, it won't show the one that we were working with because it's already selected and added to the solution. But if it was here, maybe like you want to add this as well, you just click on it and click on add, and it will show here. So that is all. This is the mail connections that are associated with the flow that I created. Because for every mail action that you create, you have to create a connection to that particular email that you've added. Yeah, so once you have your solution and your flow ready, you come back to your chatbot, and here is actually where you call your action. I think I'll just have to delete this again and show you. So if you remember, um, under call and action, we saw the already generated flows. If you had any flows already existing, or once you've created your flows, when you come back here, you'll see them listed. So for the flows up there, I chose this one. And once you choose it, it comes with this part as the parts that you added as your input variables, they will be empty here. So you just have to choose what particular what particular uh, what particular variable fits what particular variable on the other side of the flow. What particular variable on the chatbot matches a particular variable on the flow side. And then down here, this is the output that the Power Automate gives you. Yeah, so for each, you do the same thing. And once you do that, you come, so the output that's given by Power Automate, you come give it down here as your message back to be sent back to the user by the bot, to show like the message, like to give them assurance that the message, the ticket that they created or the issue that they sent has been sent to the IT support team. And then you can end your conversation with a survey or transfer it to a live agent. And that is how we made the bot that we ran at the beginning of the session. If there are any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
Hi, Marianne. We have some
Hello.
questions for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, clear. Yeah.
Humphrey, do you have some questions?
Oh, I've seen them on the chat actually. Um, is there a limit to the number of bots that can talk to each other? No, there aren't. I think the limit just comes with the allow list. So it's just the way in security we have a whitelist. So depending on the number of bots you have on your allow list, that's the limit that you have, like between, like as in the bots that can converse or interact with your bot. So the limitation just comes with the allow list, like under security. I mean, like, yeah, the security aspect of things. And can two bots participate in the same session? Um, I am not so sure about that. Let's see. Hmm. Can they? I don't think so. Can they? I don't think so. I feel like maybe if bots are interacting with each other every time, like they can't concurrently, like if your bot is maybe like handing out a session to another bot, that means it has like it's like it has released the power it had on that session. It now belongs to that particular bot. Maybe once that bot again hands over the session to the bot again, then it goes back to the bot. I'm not so sure about, but in my case, like from how I've understood it, I don't think two bots can operate on the same session, not unless if there's any king in power, in power virtual agents in the house who can um, disapprove my answer. Yeah, and then are the trigger phrases case sensitive? No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not case sensitive. Again, for the chatbots, the chatbots they have like strong AI capabilities. So you can imagine if they have like NLP type of capabilities, something as small as a case shouldn't even affect it. If it can actually make sense out of a test, like something that looks similar to a test phrase that is existing, then it means like a case really can't affect it. But we can try, yeah. But yeah, it shouldn't. Let's see, test bot. Let's see. I do. No, I can actually even write a typo. Oh, okay, let's see. There's a, okay, let's see. Oh, okay. It's actually case sensitive. Oh no, no, it's not. That is very weird. Let me see. Yeah, so it seems like if I make a typo using case upper cases, it can't make sense. But if I make a typo using small cases, it can actually make sense out of it. Interesting. Something to work on. Yeah, and then is it possible to link the bot with a locally created application? Yes, it's possible. It's actually possible. You just have to create locally created. You mean something that is hosted on a local host? I'm not so sure, but I know for something that's existing in a cloud, it's possible. Any type of website. Um, and then, oh, Kemunto, please go ahead. Kemunto, can you hear me? Okay, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're audible.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think then, Kemunto, can you hear me? Oh, if your mic isn't working. Oh, you okay? Okay, you all right. Is there any other question? Was the session okay? But I think by show of hands, who feels like they've benefited? They've benefited on the session, and you can be as candid as possible. Who feels like they have benefited, at least learned something? Okay, two people. Three. Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah. If you know me in person and you have any more questions, you can just WhatsApp me, or yeah. or just email me. I think my email was on the flow bit, but it's miriam.itonga at studentambassadors.com. Yeah, so I'm really grateful um to have shared my knowledge during this session. It was actually interesting and fun to learn about all these things and be able to actually comprehend them in a way I can share with people. So I'm really grateful for that. And also thank you so much for making it for the session. If there isn't anything else, I'll just hand it over to Laura or Humphrey or I don't know. Any of the leads can take it over. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miriam. This was such an interactive session. We've learned how to build bots. We've learned how to use Power Automate. So yeah, I guess there are no more questions. Thank you for guiding us. Thank you for teaching us. And yeah, so we have a feedback form. We appreciate your feedback, guys. And yeah, I've sent the link on the group, so on the chat. So kindly help us in evaluating the short survey. And yeah, also we have a Power Platform user group Kenya where you guys can join and get updates daily. So let me send the link to the user group. Just a minute. So that's the link to the Power Platform user group Kenya, where we send updates on events that are happening. And this being our final Power Up Tuesday series. We are grateful for you guys. Thank you for joining us. We have more events planned, hackathons, and also Power Platform GOL clinics happening soon. So join the Power Platform user group and get updated before we post them on our social media platforms. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Maybe Humphrey or Shadrach, if you have anything else to say, you can add. And yeah, thank you for joining us, and have a great night. Humphrey, Shadrach, if you have anything to say, this is your time.
Yes, yeah, everyone. It has been a nice journey working with you all through since we started the Power Up Tuesday series. Yeah, now we are coming. Let us call it cohort one, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
be
sure.
starting
Like season one of
another
our Power Up
series.
Tuesday series.
Yeah, season one. Yeah, we'll be starting the other series soon. We shall update you soon enough when we got everything ready. So, as Raul said, join the Power Platform user group Kenya for more updates. Yeah, we shall be updating you as we move on. Yeah, there are a lot of activities going on in the Power Platform community. So, if you join the Power Platform user group, can you be able to catch up and you learn and go and take part in more activities even. Yeah, for the jewel clinics, yeah, there are for now. Okay, there will be a jewel clinics for every track. Going on the one going on now is for AI and machine learning. If you're interested, you can also join. Yeah, and also those interested for peer-to-peer mentorship, the code through application you can apply, and also the ones still
Oh yeah, and I forgot. If you're
Thank you.
interested in joining our oh sorry, Humphrey, you done?
Yeah?
Oh, are you done? It's okay.
No, I was with you are, I am handing back to you.
Okay, okay. Oh, so as I was saying, if you're interested in joining our in the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador community, you guys can talk to any Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador from the group. You can join the peer-to-peer mentorship where the second cohort is about to begin, and we are going to be guided on various topics on skilling up, and then there are chances of being nominated to the ambassador community. You can also check out the Microsoft community group. What is it called? Microsoft community Twitter handle and the Power Platform community Twitter handle, and you can message us from there, and we'll answer any questions you guys have. So yeah, thank you for attending our sessions. We appreciate you for taking your time to join us, and yeah, let's see you in the next upcoming sessions. So for now, it's good night. Have a great night. Have a lovely night, and yeah, thank you. You can leave, and please make sure you fill the feedback form. We really appreciate your feedback. Thank you.